a nice snap. Tanner's got great fundamentals on the rail. This is a guy that can mix it up. He can go for airs or he can stick to the power game. Great flow on this wave right there, and wow. My first gut instinct is that's got to be an excellent score for Tanner.
And now we've got Medina up. Live action here. That explosive backhand going to work on a nice-looking right-hander.
So, you know, the waves were really slow in that last heat. So that bodes well for this one. Usually the heats kind of take a break. Every other heat kind of cranks for waves, so we'll see if the waves show up for Gabby in this one. But nice start there for Tanner. We kind of missed the top of that wave from Gabby. Let's see what he did. Sizing up that wave, so I like that, setting up the tempo, so a nice smooth snap for Gabriel. This guy is so smart. Always tends to pick apart his waves as efficient as possible. So very good rhythm right there, just slightly hung up on that last snap.
I feel like France is probably Medina's best contest too. Just always turns up there. I don't think he's ever missed the finals. His worst results a quarter. Here he goes now into that air wind, and he is hanging on with everything he's got to ride out of this move. Desperate times for Gabriel. I don't think that's going to score too well. A pretty patchy recovery there as we see Tanner now with an opportunity to seize the lead. Doesn't need a lot. We've seen him get into the excellent range. He's actually gone perfect on the backhand already in this contest in the first round. He's got plenty of power.
Yeah, that was a very solid stamp on that last maneuver there for Tanner. I agree with you. I don't think the judges are going to be impressed with all that recovery time from Gabriel Medina, so that's going to be a throwaway score. It's always a crowd pleaser. You know, it's cool to see the guy wrangle with his board. Let's see what wrong here. The air kind of got underneath his board, and he lost contact with it right around here. You can see that back foot came unstuck, and once that back foot got detached from the deck, Ronnie, you know, his balance was thrown off. He kind of went back, you know, behind the surfboard. You know, it's cool that he fished the board back underneath him, but the judges won't be impressed.
Unbelievable. Just his ability to recover when he falls off like that.
He shares that enthusiasm for you know, totally refusing to fall with Kelly Slater. Those guys always fish their board back under their feet. To pick this wave apart a bit, just mistimed a little bit on his third turn. You know, he had to wait for it and come back around, but that was really crisp to finish it. So sorry, the second turn put him behind just a little bit. That wave was running really fast. I thought maybe he'd go for a projection move so that he'd get back to the green wall. But I like the fact that he settled into the slower tempo and said, okay, screw it. I'm not going to make it back out to the front, but at least I'm going to nail this last maneuver. He's
got a bit of punch in his backhand. Just when you make some comparisons with Medina's 8.83, so there's like, it's really packed, and any one of those guys could have gone on to do some damage in this contest, but we have two very formed surfers and a big score for Tanner Gudauskas on that last ride.
I absolutely love it. You know, this kid right here, Tanner Gudauskas, well, he's not necessarily a kid. He's, what, 28 years old, but he's taking it to Gabriel Medina right now. That's tough. You know, a lot of guys get intimidated in the water with Gabriel Medina. He's really tough to serve up a couple of big scores, so you got to hand it to Tanner.
14 minutes to go. Medina finds himself in second place. He is chasing an 8.3
right now. It's all about this kid right here. If he moves on to the quarters or better, look out.
Well, let's see what he can do with this right. Nice first turn. Really whipping that tail through the lip, exploding through the pocket once again, and getting a big finish with a reverse. Hangs onto it. 3 moves. Right behind him, though, Tanner Gudauskas, to the cheer of the crowd. He's going to get a nice wall, too. Typically, throughout the event, the second and third wave in the sets have been stronger. Tanner's going to get a lot more green face to work with here as he drives up over this end section and kicks the tail. Not too bad at all. A great exchange here with just over 10 minutes remaining.
Well, here we go. I'm loving the fact that these guys are getting a lot of opportunities. You know, we've seen Brett Simpson and John have a pretty slow heat, which is always frustrating. So these guys getting a lot of cracks at it. And, you know, Gabriel Medina, let's take a look at this wave again. Really try to factor in what kind of score they can drop. Solid first turn, even getting the tail to release. Another nice connection snap. and then a closing spin. A little flat on that last spin, so I don't think that's one of those maneuvers that's going to really freak the judges out and automatically give him an excellent score. I think it's borderline excellent. And out the back, same kind of thing, a lot of connecting turns. This wave is pretty fast for Tanner, so he's forced to really keep his momentum down the line, but I like that closing finish there. 0 mistakes from Tanner. I don't know, it might be a whitewash. It looks like similar scores there.
Waiting on the numbers to come through. Tanner Gudauskas is up against one of the best backhand surfers on the planet here, but I just love the fact that he's keeping his tail just a little under the lip, and as a result, unleashing these big fans. There's, I think, a little bit more water in his spray at the moment, which is a good indicator of how much he's putting it on the back foot. It just looks like he's got a little bit more power in his moves than Medina at the moment.
Yeah, I would say his radius and his backside snaps are a little tighter. So it looks like he has more urgency and he's pushing it. For me, personally, I feel like the best wave of the heat is the left from Tanner, but the score doesn't show the case. So, in general, I feel like Tanner's kind of pushing the limits a little more in this heat, but the judges have not dropped the score yet for these last 2 waves.
8.5 minutes to go. A very even matchup here. Medina has the highest single ride of this heat. That's prior to that last exchange, an 8.83. He needs an 8.34 to get the lead. Tanner Gudauskas can improve his situation by getting rid of an 8.5, and here we go. Medina up once again as we still wait for the scores from that last exchange. And he is going to go on the attack here. A huge fin release, backhand snap. Transitioning through to this inside now, and needs more. There's a bigger hit. And he just continues to attack this pocket with a nice vertical approach. There's the fist pump.
Wow.
Asking the judges, what do you think of that?
Well, there it is, Ronnie. His last score dropping in under what he needed, but that wave came right in the nick of time. And you need a little bit of that luck to turn these heats. Again, a lot of opportunities. This was easily the best wave we've seen come through the lineup. A long wall, perfect line, and it was a big set wave. Watch the spray on this turn right here. Hooks it, and that went past the screen right there. And another one right here, even higher spray. So, Gabriel Medina is a magician at having perfect timing. He never gets too far in front where he has to cut back. He puts himself right in a pocket where he can get those big old hooks and throw a lot of spray out the back. So this easily feels like it's going to be the highest score of this heat, and he should take control, Ronnie.
7 minutes remaining. The way this battle has unfolded has been very fun because Medina hasn't really had any rampy sections where he could create a really big point of difference with those aerial moves. So he's been forced to match it with Tanner, one of the form backhand surfers of the event. And he stepped up in a big way on this ride.
He really did. And he kept a bit of a slower tempo, but the wave was an absolute dream. A lot of the waves today, the pace has been fast and then slow and then fast, so it kind of keeps you on your toes and you're just connecting your maneuvers. But that wave slowly peeled down the point, and it allowed him just to tee off. So I would not be surprised if this goes past a 9.
Strider's out there in the lineup. Strider in the last heat, we saw John Florence under pressure, take a couple of falls, but no mistakes from Medina on that last wave. How did it look from the water?
From the water, it looked like it started off really strong with a nice pace, and then he got the golden ticket on the inside, unloaded a couple of turns on a glassy bowl, absolute liquid skate park, spray everywhere from the back. I mean, just so beautiful. Christmas trees all the way down the line, and you saw him, he didn't even have to plug it in at the end. He just put it together with his hands and asked the judges what they thought, because that was honestly the best wave we've seen all day. Then it was executed perfectly under pressure, which we all know has been the point of contention today.
Well, we'll see what the judges think. We're still waiting on the numbers to roll through for that last wave. He does have an 8.83, so chasing an 8.34. Tanner is surfing so well. 3 8-point rides from 3 waves. And he holds the lead at this stage. Still waiting on the numbers to come through with more set waves approaching.
Well, I absolutely agree with Strider. That was the best wave we've seen all day. That thing peeled, it had a steep wall, and it rolled through the lineup. So, a gift-wrapped wave there for Gabby.
Just over 5 minutes to go. And out there having a look at this one, or he wants something out the back maybe, was Tanner Gadauskas. Barton Lynch watching this one unfold. Barton, as a goofy footer, you must be really enjoying this show.
Salivating, mate. They were that wave of Gabby's was amazing, but interesting to see. His first wave, he went for the air on the left, fell. He got that other left, he got the score, then he went another left and fell. And then those lulls hit, and it sort of looked like a bit of an action replay of John's situation. But then he went the first wave of the set, a classic mistake, and he got backed up by Tanner with a better wave than his, and you're thinking, well, Tanner's in the lead, he's kind of he's running this show and got better strategy. And then on the way back out, Gab just bumps into one of the best waves of the day, and it just shows how difficult our sport is, because really he'd made a mistake that set him up with that bomb. And so, you know, you never quite know with Mother Nature what she's going to deliver you here, and that was divine intervention, really. He got a beauty off the back of a mistake. So Mother Nature looking after him right there.
Well, the scores have just come in, Barton. An 8.3. He needed an 8.34. Not enough to turn the heat.
Yeah, I share your shock, Barton. I guarantee you right now, Gabriel Medina is tripping. So, you know, I'm not sure exactly what the judges were thinking. You know, I did mention that it wasn't the quickest surfing we've seen all day. So, you know, maybe the fact that he kind of took his time, the judges really kind of nailed him for it. But I honestly thought that was going to be at least a 9 minimum.
Unbelievable. And Gabriel Medina, he's applauding out there. I think he's being sarcastic, obviously, but 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. This is very interesting. Barton, your thoughts on that number?
Desculpa, meu. O cara transformou 10 no 8.
Barton, are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, have you got any thoughts on that last number?
Oh, well, it's, you know, obviously I think we're all a little bit shocked. I thought that was the best wave of the heat, and if it was an 8.83, his first one, I thought that had to be a 9.5. I don't know. Maybe the fact that there was nothing that critical and he was always kind of in front of it, if I was looking for reasons. Interested to know what the last wave of Tanner's was, boys. I couldn't quite hear that. What did Tanner get on the one he backed Gabriel on?
He got an 8.4, and you're right, Bart. He did hit the lip, so I think maybe the fact that Tanner's been attacking a more critical part of the wave, that's the only thing I can think of, but that had to have been a 9, you would think.
Yeah, there's no way that Gabriel's was definitely better than Tanner's. 8.4, no question in my mind.
Still some live action happening here, just over 2 minutes to go, and no one gets rid of baggage and a bad taste in their mouth like Medina. He continues to push and fight for the result he needs here. He's not going to get it on that wave, so he's still got time, just over 2 minutes to go. We've got some opinions in here that maybe Medina was underdone on that last score, but Strider, did you think the judges got it right from out there in the channel?
Honestly, it was hard to tell. For me, that wave, because he went by me, I did not see the execution on the inside, so I did not know if he attacked the wave. From behind, Christmas trees, spray everywhere. I saw fins. From the beach, I'm not sure what they saw, because to me that was a score that he needed. It was the best wave I've seen come through, but maybe I'm judging off the wave. I will say that Tanner has been going through the roof. He's been surfing with more aggression and more power than Gabriel. Gabriel looking more polished, looking cleaner, and has a good pace. But Tanner doing a lot more power surfing, a lot more aggression, so maybe they're liking that more out of him. Either way, that's why we're not judges. That's why we're not those 5 guys sitting up there in the booth. We just have an opinion. What's yours out there? Let's hear it.
Just over a minute remaining here, and Gabriel Medina, I've never seen him so baffled by a score. That was a big reaction that he had. And there is just 1 minute remaining here, Ross. He's still got an opportunity, even without priority. We know how dangerous he can be. And Tanner is going to pass this wave up. So let's see what Medina can do. He's got some huge moves he can go to. He floats this one. He's going to fall. 45 seconds to go.
Here's the thing about that wave, you know, it wasn't the most critical part of the wave, but he surfed it accordingly. You know, the wave was kind of slowly rolling down the point, but it was nice and steep, and he tagged it, and he threw a lot of spray. So that's where the shock is coming from.
Well, he's got another wave here, but this wave tapering off pretty quickly. 25 seconds to go. And Medina clearly frustrated as we see Tanner Gadauskas, who has just delivered a couple of devastating backhand snaps to this right-hander. The crowd is making plenty of noise from the local boy, and we have seen the 1, 2, and now number 3 on the Jeep leaderboard fall out of the mix here at Trestles.
Now this is big, and you can guarantee Gabriel Medina is going to be over the top frustrated. Right now he's got all kinds of conspiracy theories going through his head. It's going to be a very tough pill to swallow.
The heat score